Hey, what's going on? My name is Anthony Gray. Welcome to another thrilling edition of Grayscale. Believe it or not, I have to do a painting twice because the last 15 minutes of the first video I did not record. Hoorah! Okay, with that said, I am working with CAD red, CAD yellow, dioxazine purple, titanium white, and a smattering of, I gotta get more smattering, ultramarine blue. I work with Grumbacher paint because I like the thick, heavy body of the acrylic paint. Keeps me in mind of oil painting. I do have plenty of oil paint. I just haven't gotten to making a series of paintings with the oil paint yet. But I do have them. I originally started out as an oil painter. So, with all of that said, this is 11 by 14 watercolor paper. I treated the first one, I soaked it with water first. With the first one, I'm not going to do it with this one here. Alright. Okie dokie. My. Alright, let's move on. I'm going to work with I'll just show you guys the brushes I'll be working with here and there. I'll first do a quick sketch out of the mountain. It'll be an ocean scene, okay? I'm gonna make it a little differently than the picture that I did post. The technique will still be the same. I'm dipping into some dioxazine right now. I'll put it right here. I'm gonna get some white, mix it in with the purple, so I can I'll get it a little bit lighter. It's just a quick sketch of where I want the cliff side to be. Alright, that's all. So it'll be somewhere here and have it swoop down like that. Alright, that's about enough of sketching, believe it or not, that I probably will do. Okay, alright. I know, kind of odd. So I'll let that set, let that dry a little bit. This acrylic paint is probably drying right now. Alright, and then I'm going to dip into my glycerin and shampoo mix. I use this mix. It's like the oil painting equivalent to liquid clear. Alright, which is why it keeps the paint wet longer, and it helps in blending, as you will soon find out. I know I have a smaller blending brush. I think this is it. I should have got it before I turned the camera on. Nope, this is not it. This is a flat brush. It's alright. I'll make do. Not with this though. I'll put that right there with everybody else in the forget me pile. Alright, we'll move on. So first off, I will coat this with the glycerin mix here. I'm gonna have to put quite a bit on because the paper itself soaks it up. Okay, and I'm just dipping a little bit like into the flat part of the bristles there, the sharp edge. Like I said, some of this is already tacking up as I'm doing this because it also room temperature plays a part. Alright, so okay, now that I've did that, I will get a little bit of titanium white. I'm going to put the titanium white, I guess I'll put it right about here. I just want it right there right now. I'm going to dip into some CAD yellow. And I'm going to go all around that white like so. Matter of fact, let's do like this with the yellow. Let's just splay it out there. Just dipping into the CAD yellow. And I'm doing little bursty things like this. No matter. Just like so. Come up here with it. A little bit like that. Into the mountain a little bit. It's alright. Just like this. Okay? Now, I'm going to take, it's got yellow in it, I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to go a little into the white, little into the white, little into the yellow in a circular motion, just to kind of give it a little bit of kind of a glowy thing happening here. That's basically it. Something like that in there. I'll dip a little bit of white in it to lighten it up a little bit. Like I say, I want more of a kind of a glow, so I'm just going in a circular motion here, like so. It's getting kind of tacky, and it's okay. Something like that. Just a little glow. All right, I'm cleaning out the brush here. This was a 1/2 inch brush I was using, 1/2 inch flat, just to get that little effect. All right. I'm going to do the same thing, but with red. All right. I'm not going to use such a large brush. And now a lot of the glycerin has already dried up into the paper. All right. I'm taking the same little 1/2 inch brush. I'm going to get a little bit of red, and I'm going to put my brush in the glycerin and get some red. And I'm going to mix the glycerin in with the red here. And what I'm going to do is just pop off a little bit of red here and there, something like that, in certain spots around the yellow. Why am I doing this? Because of the blue that I will add in here. Okay, so I don't want to contaminate the yellow with that blue, because you know what happens, right? It turns green, right? But that's why, basically. Now remember, I got a little glycerin in the paint itself. Okay, this brush is a little too large, really, but I'm gonna. That was an error. I didn't clean out my my bristle brush very well, like not at all. So I'm gonna do a quick rinse of the bristle brush because I didn't think of cleaning it. It holds a lot of water, so you have to squeeze a lot of that water out with your hands. Then I got my rag here on the side. I'm just dampening, getting most of that out of there, so you don't get this. Okay. And then I will just fade some of that in there. So we're gonna get a weird blendy type of red and yellow and whatnot. Now the brush is obviously still a little damp, but that's okay. I'm working with it. Get a nice little transition of color, really in between that yellow and the red up in there. A smaller brush would have sufficed, actually, but that's okay. We're gonna work with this. Now my brush has got a little water in it, so, and the glycerin is still inside the red, so, but that's okay. It's not gonna totally get rid of all of that yellow, and I don't want it to. So I'm just making do with what I'm doing here. This brush, I feel, is still a little bit too big for what I'm doing with it. Cause I got little red stragglers going into my sunlight, but that's okay. You see little red pieces going in there, but that's all right. So I'll be messing with that right about now with the bristle brush, or the mop brush. I'm going into my yellow, circular motion right here around the sun here. Going into my white, up in here, circular motion, and just spread it out a little bit. Go a little bit more into the white, get some more white in there. No medium, just the white, spread it like so, and just bring it outward like that. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse off my mop brush here. Like I said, the mop brush soaks in a whole lot of water, So you're gonna have to use your fingers and get it all out of there. Get your handy towel, because you'll be needed plenty of times. Okay. Now, I got some spots here that are a little muddied by the red. Where's the yellow at? That's okay, just add a little more yellow into it. Like this, just pop in some yellow. Brighten it up a little. I'm not really concerned too much about that, because once the darker colors come in, it's gonna kind of really shine through. So I'm just adding variances of the color. I'll scramble some of this in. Just like that. Maybe even bring a little bit of that into here. Okay, something like so. Now, I do have, like I say, a tiny bit of ultramarine blue, and that will be for the sky. And we're gonna do the sky pretty much the same way. I'm going into my glycerin. I'm gonna do the glycerin first. I'll pick my areas here where I want the sky to kind of peek through, which is kind of up here, a little bit up in here, up here, and all up in here. Bringing some of that down like that. All right. Okay. And I'm going to take some of this blue, a little touch of white into the blue, just to lighten it just a little bit. And I'm going to give a couple swipes here. A couple swipes. Sometimes I'm going right off the tape. Get some more. Put some right up in there. All up in there. A lot of it down in. I need some glycerin down there, actually. Right up in here. All up in here a little bit. And I'm getting some more blue. I got plenty of glycerin on the brush itself, but up in here, my blending brush will take care of everything else. All right. I just want peaks of sky in there. Kind of looks a little just disheveled and messy right now, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna do the 3 hairs and some air thing here. Soft blending brush. We're gonna blend that in. Blends into all of that color. Very lightly. Just want to blend it in, so it looks like pieces of sky poking through all that color. Like I say, it kind of looks a little crazy right now, but it'll come together in a second or two. The style of clouds I'm going to do today are a little, not really the ones I'm known to do. These will be more typical looking like actual clouds. All right. I'm going to add a little more of this light pastel blue color in certain spots, because I feel it needs it a little bit more. A little more in here. A little bit more solid in there. Up in here a little bit. And let's get some of that color right in here. Up in here a little. Just like that. Now I don't have too much glycerin on this, so I had to work rather quickly to get that blend in. So this paint's a little more opaque, and I had to blend it a little more since I don't have the glycerin on it, which in turn is quite fine. I just have to stay in one spot a little longer than the other previous coating. But something like so. This will make sense in a second, don't worry. I promise. Just like that. Put it right in there. So, all right. Like I say, these clouds are pretty much in general kind of clouds. All right. And we'll start here. And basically, I kind of want the interesting kind of cloud shapes. It's gonna go right into the sun here, and I'll just pan it out like that across the sun. But all in here, in the bottom here, this is going to be like kind of faded. You'll see in a second here. I'm gonna have to do it a cloud at a time because I didn't put any medium in that. So I'm rinsing off the brush right now. Let's take the smaller mop brush here, and we're gonna go halfway into it, and we're gonna slowly blend into the other colors here. Blend it right in. And just be careful going around the sun there. I need a smaller brush. Like I said, this stuff kind of sinks into the paper. Okay. Which is why I'm working the way I'm working right now. It's soaking into the paper as I'm wiping, which is fine. Because if you do it again on another coat, none of it's going to really soak that much because it's already been saturated with this medium. But right now, I'm more concerned about the center, well, slightly off center. The sun's shine is not in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna get a little white. I wish it wasn't contaminated like that, but we'll work with it. And go straight down with it. Just like that, straight down. Go straight down. Right here, straight down with it. Take some yellow on either side. Just like this, right on the side there. Get as close to the top as you can. You're gonna just push it down. Alright? Just like that. Push it right down there. You're gonna do the same thing on the other side. You're gonna push it right down. Go straight. Go downward. On either side of the white. Running out of yellow, gotta get a touch more yellow. That's alright. We'll work with this right now. Just like that. Okay, just like that. Alright. Now, while I'm doing this, and while I'm thinking about it, let's put some medium in here on the yellow for a second. A little medium. It loosens up the paint even when it's on here. Because I'm going to do some blending right now. I'm going to clean off this brush real quick. Dry it off. And we're going to blend this. Keep the white as pure as possible, if you can. And I'm just slowly blending it into the white. Go on the other side, do the same thing. Slowly, just casually blend it in. Just like that. Alright. Just like so. I know I got a little bit up here on the top, but that's just a quick wipe away. Alright. This is dry. This is dry because the paper soaked up the glycerin, which is to be expected. That's fine. We're going to put some more glycerin on it. Right into the yellow a little bit. Okay. Close as you can to the top. Just like that. I'm wiping some of that off. I'm going to take this super dark color right from the side here. Get it as dark as possible as you possibly can there. Now remember, it's got that glycerin on it, so it's kind of, you know. And as you get in further in, you're gonna get closer to the yellow. You're gonna fade that in there like that. I'm taking some of this off of the brush, and I'm gonna lightly, straight up and down, taking some paint off the brush, very lightly. Now I'm gonna take most of the paint off the brush, go back into the yellow a little bit, and get a nice little transition here. Nothing but water and the yellow. See this? And I'm slowly going back into the purple. Just like that. And I'll slowly go back in. Like that. Okay. Just like so. So you got a nice little transition of color there. If you don't like too much of the lines, give it a couple X strokes like this. Bring some of that darker color up in there a little bit, and then you go right back into it again, just like that. So you got a nice little transition of color. right, I try not to really mess around with it too much. For going back into the glycerin, we're going to do the same thing on the other side, right down in here. Just like that. Bring it right down. Right into the yellow a little bit there, so we get a nice little fading transition going with that. Same type of thing. Now take that dark, make it dark here in the corner, straight down. Keep on going with it. Make it dark. It's all right. Make it dark. And as I get closer, obviously it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. Got to get it pretty dark there in the corner, and it just fades lighter in here, like so. Okay, I'm just cleaning off the brush here. You can use a soft mop brush for the same effect also, if you desire. Okay. And very lightly, just straight down. You're still getting the streaky lines, but that's okay, because remember I told you you can do the X stroke thing, move it around a little bit, all of this type of motion. I just don't want to go too heavy into the lighter areas. I'm wiping off the brush, and I'm going to go right back straight down again. You don't have to press hard to do this. Straight down. We got a nice little transition here, all in there, right in here. It's okay. Remember, I'm going to clean off the brush. So the brush will be mostly just water, really. And I'm going to fade some of that. There we go. Just like that. Go half into the purple, half into the yellow. Get a nice little fade. Now I got some going past the water line, which is just a wipe away. It's all right. Get rid of that. There. Just like that, guys. Now you got your little shine there. All right. We're going to play with this stuff in here right now. I'm going to get some white. Edge of the brush right in here. Just tap. Just like that. Just tap it a little bit. Not so much glycerin, but I'm going to get a little glycerin in here. Get the paint to move around a little bit. Okay. And we're going to move some of these highlights around. Some go a little further than others. Just like that. We can do the same thing for some yellow also. I got to get some more yellow. A touch of yellow here. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing with the yellow. With the yellow, we're going to just come in a little bit. Come in a little bit. Like so. Do the same thing on the other side. But when we come in, we're going to come in on the opposite. Like that. Don't worry. It will make sense in a second or two. Just like that. Okay. And then we're just going to go to the right. Go to the left. Go to the right. Like this. You're going to bring it straight down, straight down, straight down. Bring it straight down. If it blend right up in there. And don't be scared of it. Blend it. Blend it in there. Okay. Just like that. I'm going to blend that back. Just like so. Blend it. That too. Blend it right in there. Nice little blend going there. Like so. All right. And that's that so far. As I'm looking at it, checking it out, we're going to, I think I'm going to use this thin brush here. I really shouldn't. This is not a good idea, but this holds a very tight edge. I would use a knife, a palette knife for this. But I'm gonna get a little highlight going on here. Okay, might be a little thick there. It's a little highlight going around. If you feel comfortable using a palette knife, use the palette knife. There. So strengthen up that horizon line a little bit back there. Okay. So we're almost, we're about halfway done with this. I'm gonna get a little glycerin. I want a little more action in here a little bit. So I'll just take it from here and we'll try to wisp some of that purple in there like that. Not necessarily everywhere, but just a little bit like that. And I'll bring some of that down. Some of that shine down like that. So basically I'm just using some of that color just to spill it into the yellow a little bit. Come on down, do it again. You can do it again. I'm gonna turn my brush around. There, just like that. Just get some action lines going in there a little bit. Okay. And then lightly just go back down again. There. A little bit more in there. Like that. All right. This is not going to be a calm scene. There'll be waves going in here. Oh, right about now, as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's pick a point. You guys should be able to see it. I'm going to just get some, I should use a marker really than some paint, but let's put the point right about there. Yeah, you guys should be able to see that. If not, I'll show you. I'll make it real easy for you in a second. All right. There, you bet you see that now, don't you? Right, that little dot right there. That will be our little vanishing point. All right. Okay. Now, from that vanishing point, you'll establish your waves. Okay, so for all you beginner guys that aren't too confident about your waves, watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use the same very wide brush. Use whatever brush you feel comfortable with. Flat brush anyway. If you don't feel comfortable using one this large, then don't use it. Okay, but it has a pretty decent I'm gonna start with the one in the middle, or what I'm gonna represent as the middle. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna angle it right from here. Everything starts from here. Everything starts from here. Everything starts from there. I'm going right across, right across, right across. Keep it as straight as you can, right across. The cone of the wave. This is these are like coming in. The cone is deeper towards us, right in here. It's deeper towards us, just like you see me doing. Make it variance, make it varied. Okay. Some way really come out, some don't. But the closer you get towards that horizon line, they kind of straighten out like that. So deep bowl here, but they kind of straighten out right towards that horizon there. All right, I'm gonna get a little slight touch of medium here, just to loosen it up a bit. This is a bigger one. Nice circle there, like that. You should still be able to see that. Okay, I'm just turning the brush around. Some of these pockets are a little deeper than others. I could keep that little yellow in there, have like a little bit of the light shining through, but that's really your preference. of how you want to do that. As you get closer to the horizon line, they kind of get more and more horizontal. Okay. Bring some of that out a little bit more, like that. Have them just roll it in one after the other after the other. All right. We'll do another one here. This one obviously not as pronounced. Not as pronounced, but you can straighten this one out a little more too. See there, just like that. All right, the next part is going to be particularly cool. I'm gonna use just to change brush. Just put little crests on top of those guys. Clean it out a little bit better. Actually, this rag is a little soaked. Let's use a drier one. All right. Let's use a. Guess I can use this one. It's beat up enough. All right, it's a beat up round brush. It's had battles. I'm dipping into my white. I might get a little bit of yellow into it. Just tint the white a little bit. This kind of needs plenty of paint too. I'm just dipping a little more yellow into it. And I'm going to just do a little touch. Just like that. Look at that. Have some come up a little more, maybe a little higher here. Alright. And you're just going to make kind of a line. Going straight down. A little action, just like that. And while it's still wet, don't get rid of all that dark down there. As I'm going down there like that. Alright. If you're not too confident using this, use a smaller flat brush or use a fan brush. If you want to use a fan brush. I'll use this guy. Now the fan brush should pick up some of this color. But all you're going to do is just go and you're going to see that circle? It picks up some of that color. Alright. I'll just tap a little bit. Get a little bit of white and just tap it in there like that. Believe it or not, I ran out of white. Actually, this here can have a little more variance here like this. Just a little bit more. Turn the brush around like that. Maybe a little bit more in here. Just a little more detail up here up front. Like that. Okay, as we're playing with that, let's go back into this guy. Be very mindful of the curves. Okay. Some of them got a little more I'm just bringing some of that color. Can bring that down, make those guys stand out a little bit more. Even back here. Slight touch, a lot of paint, slight touch. You don't feel like it's coming off. Angle the brush a little bit. My brush is my mop brush has been cut straight. There we go. And a little bit of that in there. You can do as much as you want with the waves, to be honest with you. I mean, you can bring some of that down in here. Add all sorts of little actions and get all sorts of little rolls going in there. If you know that's what you're into, that's what you like to do. You make them, all up in there. Strengthen some of that wind blowback on these guys. By just going directly opposite everything. Okay. So you can really do your thing with it if this is what you like to do. And these waves are really talking there. There. We'll just fade all that out back there. Like I say, I don't need too much detail with these fellas back here. They're in the background quite a ways away. Okay. If I want to be adventurous and make it a little bit more different than the other guy, the other painting I did, that's a lot like this. If you want, if you're brave enough, you slap in a few sun rays in there, like so. All up to you how you want to do it. You slap them in there any kind of way. Put them down over here somewhere. Okay. Maybe something hanging out this way, like that. Sometimes with the sun rays, all you get is one shot. Okay, so be very choosy in what direction you want to go with these guys. All right. So this one has a sun ray in it. The other one does not. Okay. Let's take off the tape here. That wasn't cool. Why does that happen sometime? I tape my edges because I kind of like a sharp pro look. There we go. Alrighty. Just gotta put my John Hancock on it somewhere and call it a day. Thank you once again for checking this out, for viewing it. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. If you feel somebody else can learn from something like this kind of method, have them just stop by and just look at a couple of videos, see if it's for them. I can't believe I just did another one in the same day, just an hour or two apart. But at least this one's recorded. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you very much for viewing. I hope it helps, and all that good stuff. And I shall see you all when I see you. Peace.